Hi there, Libra. Welcome to your end of September 2025 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. Almost in Libra season as I record this, and certainly the last half of September will include that. So, for sure. Okay. Okay. It's a very strange thing because we have some cards here. It seems like there's some issue with money in particular. Um, Ten of Pentacles is the inheritance card, but it can also just be big money. You know, we got the Nine of Pentacles too. And the Ace of Pentacles in the challenge position. The heart of the matter is the Four of Cups. This is a card of dissatisfaction, kind of emotional flatness, disinterest in something. And you can see the body language of the woman, that she's being offered something, but she's not really enthused about it. Cups relate to the water element, so it's typically, I would say, talked about in terms of, somebody giving their love to another person and that person rejecting it because they don't have feelings for that person. So it could be that, but I see it more broadly as the person no longer being interested in whatever it is. There's like a disappointment might be Five of Cups, more like a disinterest, a meh type of feeling, like I've lost interest in whatever this thing is. So certainly it could be relationships. And the Nine of Wands, you can see the wary expression on the person's face of like kind of watching her back, what's going on here. And in that context, the Nine of Wands is a card of two major things. First of all, boundaries or lack thereof. And if somebody has set boundaries, will somebody try to challenge them or just override them altogether? And so immediately what I think about is a relationship with a narcissistic person. I've done a lot of research on this, and one of the things that they always talk about is how they don't respect boundaries. So when they tell you in relationships that that's how you get your needs met, by telling someone what your boundaries are, if you're with somebody who is a narcissist, they're not going to respect those, because it's not about you, it's about them, it's about what they want. And violating your boundaries is, you're just giving them more information on how to piss you off, really. Those kinds of people, you can't negotiate with them, because they're just trying to be parasites on other people. That's how they get their energy and their false power, is through feeding off of other people's negative energy that they have generated because of their behavior. So But still, people, they give people the benefit of the doubt, and I'm sure the average Libra person is like that. And or it can be like breaking up with somebody who is like this, and then being afraid that that person is going to try and worm their way back into their life. But it's coming, like, to me, sometimes this card can mean that the person just has no F's left to give because they were the one who loved that other person, and that person hurt them over and over and over again. And even a Libra person, as dedicated as they may be, at a certain point you may wash your hands of a relationship that is like that, because you realize that the other person has no intention of changing their tune, their ways, that they are just in it for themselves. The higher message is the Ten of Pentacles, and this is a card of big money. This is in love. Like, if you're talking about a relationship, this is a card of generational wealth, okay? Inheritance. This is a card of inheritance, but that's generational wealth. But if you look at it symbolically when it comes to love matters, it can be this card of your life partner, and you have kids with that individual. Or if you don't, if you're at a different stage of life or you don't want children, you still have the families that merge, and you have the, there's so many more people, so it becomes like generations. And Earth represents the durable, the thing that we can count on. And with a certain person, you may feel like you cannot count on this individual. You can't count on yourself to be happy with such a person, let alone what they're doing or what they're not doing, okay? So I'm going to take this aside. I'm going to talk about the card that crosses you is the Ace of Pentacles. And this is a card, so reading this in terms of like a professional or work situation, Four of Cups can be dissatisfaction with the work that you're doing, or maybe with the money that you're making. Maybe you feel like you're getting a lot of love, and I'm putting that in air quotes, but not a lot of pentacles, not a lot of, cha-ching. And maybe that worked for a while, but now you're like maybe you're feeling taken advantage of, and you're feeling like like with the Nine of Wands, did you have boundaries? Did you kind of do things? Did you do things that allowed somebody to take advantage of you? And now you may be at a point where you understand that more. That you see that you were getting a lot of strokes or good feedback, but it's not enough to sustain because you have bills to pay. You have, it could be something along those lines. Ace of Pentacles can be reluctance to look for new work. It can be blocking. I think in some cases it can even be blocking your financial abundance because you're in this situation where you're feeling these very lower frequency emotions. But for some reason, it's like a vicious circle, because you're feeling bad about what is happening, and that is making you, I don't know about lethargic, but for some reason not feeling good about getting a new job. Maybe it's sapping your confidence or something like that. And so it just creates this vicious circle. So in other words, the environment that you're in is rubbing off on your sense of possibilities and your resolve to change that all up. Well, here's a good card. What's coming in, the Sun card. Okay, take your pick on what good things can be coming your way. This is, by the way, this is connected to Leo, so it could actually be a Leo person. If you're with a Cancer, and I know I'm going to get, if you're like, oh my God, she guessed I'm with a Cancer. Well, Cancer is a cardinal sign. Cups is water. I don't know if the Four of Cups is connected to Cancer specifically, but the other water signs are Scorpio, and Scorpio is next to Libra, so there is a possibility of that. And the other is Pisces. But the cardinal signs, they form a hard angle called a square, but they can be that sort of physical attraction that also has that irritating effect too. But this is Leo, which is sextiles Libra. And this is the energy coming in, which is like, and I think this is related to your solar return. Because another thing too is, which technically is the exact degree of when the sun is in Libra, which if you're born on the 7th of October, it might be on the 6th or it might be on the 8th when it's at that same degree. But the Sun card can be love, it can be creativity, it can be, children, which is part of the legacy, like somebody who wants to have a serious relationship because they plan on starting a family, but they want to have it with the right person. Healing, prosperity, success, everything, joy, which that's nothing to sneeze at. Joy is really a big deal. So that could be coming in, that could be the energy coming in. And I wanted to say too, like astrologically, that you have your solar return. That's going to be when the sun goes back into your first house. Right now it's in Virgo. That's your 12th house. That's Pisces domain, and it can feel really isolated, kind of like sometimes like overly emotional, maybe feeling helpless. And when it comes back into your sign, you might feel like $1,000,000. And it is coming back into Libra in the latter part of September. I keep holding that up, but actually I have to pick this one first. The outcome is the 5 of Cups, and this is, I just got it. I just got this. I think it was for Gemini, but it was in the same position as the outcome, and so I picked an additional card because this can be a card of grief, grieving the loss of something, the dejection about something lost. So the 4 and 5 of Cups, they both can be emotions on a more challenging level. And again, until the sun goes into that degree, it's in your 12th house. So it doesn't, so those feelings are real. They have to be experienced, not just articulated, but actually embodied so that you can really feel how it feels. But it may be that this is even a relationship that has already ended, and perhaps there's a new relationship that's waiting to form, but you still have to process grief, and that's okay. This might be something that is waiting for you to embrace, but you can't do so prematurely. And the card, the clarification card, the 9 of Pentacles, this is a card of independent wealth, or, the means to support oneself. This is a card of affluence. So the 9 and the 10 of Pentacles, these are really great money cards, and the Sun card. So what is it that is standing in the way that is making you feel sad? Well, I mean, the 10 of Pentacles is an inheritance card. So, I mean, it would stand to reason that if somebody has lost someone, and this may be, I mean, you experiencing the loss of somebody in your life through death or even divorce or something like that. But you're benefiting financially. So it's kind of like a mixed bag. And so focusing on, and this is what the two that she has her back to, the two cups that are upright, that are, it's like not crying over spilt milk, but there's some milk that still hasn't spilled. There's still some milk left. And you might realize there is love still in the world. Maybe that relationship didn't work out, but there's more where that came from. Or that job that didn't work out, there's more that, where that came from. And I have the money to support myself in the meantime. Thank God for that. There's things to be grateful for right now. All right. I hope that you enjoyed this, Libra. If you would like a private reading, I do astrology, I do the tarot, I do both together in package deals. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.